Is that what they say? Good afternoon, okay? What's poppin' tonight? I don't care what time it is, whenever you are seeing this. Honey, what's up? Why was I about to do what's up? Have y'all ever seen the Parkers? Girl, I'm so glad they have the Parkers on Netflix. But anyway, so as you guys can see from the title above, we are going to be doing a, how do I want to say this? I just feel like we need to focus on, for this specific reading, what do you need to focus on? There was a lot of different other readings coming through, like, you know, no contact, which I'll get to, you know, but something was like, let's bring it a little bit, I don't even want to say serious, but let's get the girls and the guys going. Let's get motivated. What do you need to focus on right now to bring you the most success for these upcoming months? I do feel like August was a bit of a reset for a lot of people. Even if you went through a tough time, I feel like it put people in a real big reflective mode, kind of restarted them, recharged them, even if it was uncomfortable. And there's going to be a lot of realigning, refocusing, okay? So let's get active. What do you need to focus on right now in order to be successful? What's going to bring you the most success? How can you improve? You know, whatever comes out, shoot, you know, I'm going to cover all the bases that I need to. So without further ado, let's introduce the piles. All right, so moving forward, just a tad. Pile 1 is going to be the Hoodoo Tarot. Let me turn this down just a bit. All right. I'll show you a couple more of the cards. This is what it's giving. Honey, I feel like this camera ain't doing this artwork justice, honey. You gotta really feel it. I guess we're just not gonna get what needs to be gave. But honey, it's still, you know, it's doing what it needs to do. Top card was the Ace of Wands. And I'll have some objects for those of you that need to pick with objects. Pile 2 is like a different form, if I'm not mistaken, of the Rider-Waite Tarot. It's like the Morgan Greer. I don't know. I think I'm saying that right. Hopefully someone will correct me in the comments. Oh, we got this wand. Honey, it's on par. We got this wand energy. I'm telling you, it's time to get active. It's time to get activated. So we got the Six of Wands. This is what the deck is giving. Some more cards that we have that are showing, just so you can kind of see the artwork, what it's giving, what it's not. All right. And then the third tarot, what is this one? Is this the Goddess Tarot? Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. It's the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot. Okay. Top card is Reclamation. Dang it, this is that deck. I really need to learn my Roman numerals. I really need to grow up and get it together. Reclamation. What is this, girl? I don't know what this is. What is this? Hold on. Is the book right here? Ain't that looking real? I'm sorry, I can't move on. Ooh, this might be giving me some insight on what needs to be focused on. Interesting. Oh, traditional. Ooh, I wasn't expecting that. I guess, girl, this is traditionally the devil. Interesting. I was not expecting that. Interesting. I need to write me a little, like, table, like a cheat code, because I need to get it together. I apologize. Anyway, other cards we got listed. This is a beautiful deck, isn't it? We got the Four of Wands here, the Six of Pentacles, the artwork basically. 3:13 on the clock. So that'll be the top card. Now for those of you, let me just back up. All right. For those of you who may need like an object or something just a little bit more to help you, if you already know, I do not want to confuse you, girl. Go ahead and get going where you need to get going. But if you just need to see a little bit more, I got you. All right. I cannot remember what crystal this is. I feel like it's a bunch of them. I'd have to find the box, but it's beautiful. Okay. It's really a necklace, but I lost the the necklace part. This is gonna go with pile 1, the Hoodoo Tarot. Oh, that's beautiful, honey. That gives. That gives. We also got my old friend, honey. This was my little cigar. Well, I use it for roach. Listen, girl, for a good roach. Anyway, the cigar is getting low. You just, and then you, it gives bougie. It gives class. Okay, so we have that. This came in handy. Especially if you don't want, you know, be burning your lips. Some of y'all be burning your lips. Man, go watch my one video. How to lighten your lips. I talk about it there, honey. That's when you know you burnt out, when you gotta keep on the road. It's hitting your lips, burning your lips. Anyway, I'm sorry. Pile 3. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me show you. This is the little monkey. You know what this reminds me of? I know he doesn't look anything like this. But why do I think of Mojo Jojo? Mojo Jojo. I can't even remember if that's his name. Now I'm thinking of Bubbles. Oh gosh. Come on. You see where Brad's at. That's making me think of you was stupid. You were stupid. Anyway, that's gonna be for pile 3. So let me move that up just a little bit. Back this up. Alright, lighten it up for you guys. So yes, go ahead and pick intuitively, and I will see you guys at your pile. So I just have to do this with you guys. If you need it, I'm giving you an air hug. No, your reading is not bad. I could just tell. This is my CEO energy, my mother of however many children energy, my father of the household holding it down, my head honcho, my creme de la creme, my doctors, nurses, my head manager. I don't care if it's at Mickey D's, Taco Bell. I don't care, okay? This energy, and I'll even be honest, I was very sure, of course, of this reading. I knew we needed this reading, even though I just did that kind of like that 2 reading ago reading, if you know what I'm saying. Even though that reading I did 2 videos ago about like what's the general energy, I'm like, this is needed. But let's just take a second to just go. One more. Let me tell y'all. Okay, you guys, let me just say in general, work with me here. There seems to be just a extra oomph of responsibility with this pile. This could be something that's already playing out. Maybe you're, I'll just use this as an example. Maybe you're a manager at a specific store. Maybe you're an airman. Okay, maybe you're a, why am I acting like I've been out the military that long? Like, I don't know. Maybe you're a senior airman and you are wanting to promote to staff sergeant. So either you're in the position or you're destined to be in a heightened position. That's something I want to tell you guys. And I keep getting that song, the sky is the limit. Dun 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 dun, I keep on pressing on. Sky is the limit. Something, something. Have what you want. Be what you want. I don't know if that's the lyrics, but that keeps coming to me, and I keep wanting to go like this. Sky is the limit. That's the vibe. But I want to tell you. So this is my group where we can. Let's be honest about it. I gotta read you a little bit. You can take it to the extreme. When you're focused, you're balls to the wall, focus. When you're not focused, it's like, girl, where are you? Land, pile one, land. We need you to land. There's a certain level of balance, okay? And I know we say that all the time, but you guys are giving executive energy. Like I said, it doesn't matter how this is playing out, whether it's corporate, whether it's a spiritual business, whether it's just you having to hold it down at the home. Because maybe something took place that put you in a position where now you have to step up to the plate. That is acknowledged. I want to tell you, I know I'm jumping around a little bit, but P wants to validate you, honey, because even when I looked at the cards, like I said, I was so sure about this reading. As soon as I picked the cards, I was like, dang, I feel a little intimidated by this energy. And that's what I feel like may happen as you're transitioning through this energy. There's like a responsibility here. I keep hearing more responsibilities, powerful positions, powerful transitions, challenges, new challenges, having to adapt, learning how to adapt, learning how to take the lead when necessary and do it with a level of respect. Be authentic to yourself, but also knowing when to not let your pride get in the way and let your ego get in the way, and knowing when to take a back seat and trust. Like, let's say if you're in a business and maybe there's new people coming in, like their mentors or whatever, knowing when to be the student and knowing when to be the teacher. It doesn't matter, okay? So there's this energy of stepping up to the plate, seeing the big picture, grabbing it by the horns, honey, and taking what you need while not doing it in an egoic way. I'm seeing so many angel numbers, it's not even funny. Every time I look up, I think I saw 101, 222, then 333, and I just saw 444. So let me see where I want to start. Okay, so we have the little astro dice Neptune right here. So let's just go boop, boop right there, because it seemed like y'all already be stressed enough. You don't need P confusing the message. Listen, I need to know. Tell me down below what y'all got going on, okay? With this Neptune energy, something to focus on at this time that is going to help you become successful, that is going to bring you success, especially in these next 3 months, is this big picture thinking. What are your dreams? What are your visions? What have you been fantasizing about? Because there's something happening here where maybe your dreams and ambitions, let's say my hand right here is dreams and ambitions. There's something about the way the time is starting to line up where you're like, oh shoot, I always wanted to promote, but this came a little faster than expected. I always wanted to be a mother, but I just found out I'm pregnant. This came a little faster than expected. Dang it, I always wanted to, you know, go viral on TikTok, but you know, this came a little faster than expected. There's a lot of energy about get ready, okay? So what do we need to focus on again? Where is your creativity calling you to be? What have you always wanted to do? How can you incorporate your visions, what you've been thinking about, what you've been dreaming about? How can you incorporate that into your life now from a balanced perspective? Because you also know that Neptune can talk about delusions, possible addictions, escapism, seclusion. There's something here where I'm seeing more of the lighter side, tapping into that creative energy, being receptive when necessary. However, let me just tell you something, we just gonna break it right now. Something that we need to let go of during this time is definitely ego, bad habits. Hold yourself accountable. I'm not saying it's easy, but if you know there's a certain habit that you seem to pick up that is coming in between your goal, Let me just pick up one situation right now. Let's say you're wanting to start a business. Maybe there's an addiction that you have, like drinking. It doesn't even have to be like maybe you're like an alcoholic or something like that. But let's just say you've been going out with friends, spending too much time, spending money on things that don't really feed the vision of your business. You know, you've been drinking and maybe it's taken away from the energy that you could have had to do what it is that you needed to do for your business. You thought it was going to help, and the next thing you know, you're knocked out, slumped, okay, and then that whole day is gone. Now it's like our goal is pushed back, so procrastination happens. There's a lot of hold yourself accountable. Where can you hold yourself more accountable? Where can you hold your environment accountable? This type of energy, especially with this King of Wands right here, let me just move in. We have this King of Wands right here. Honey, it's like, it's crazy because I know I'm stalling, but I just keep having to take these breaths. You guys are being called to be in a leadership position. Okay, let me just talk to you about some of the words I wrote down. Looking at the big picture, leader, overcoming challenges. It seems like you've done that. Remember that. Great skills in leadership, buckle up. I just seen a lot of buckle up. I'm not telling you to be scared, but just be ready. With this level of success that I see coming in, this level of responsibility, this is really good. You guys are definitely accomplishing something. But what do they say? To he who does great things, much is needed. I don't know. Y'all know what they say about people that got a lot going on, or like, you know, if you're a king, you know, he who wears the crown, something heavy. I don't know what the saying is. You probably know. But there's a lot about buckle up. Things have to change, okay? I'm going to get to that. Some of these friends you got, you might need to take a step back. I'm not saying you got to cut them off, okay? But if all they want to do is drink, smoke, party, okay? Go find out what the biddies is. Instead of like really talking about goals and you're in a different place, it might be time to take a step back. Hey, I love you, but I can't talk to you right now. Where can you have more boundaries? Where can you use your time more wisely? There's just a stronger sense of, look, I'm in this position of the Father of Wands, aka the King of Wands, so I have to start moving accordingly. I have a business now. I have a goal now, so I have to start moving accordingly. Anyway, taking control, lead with passion, responsibility. Your vision deserves to be heard, okay? This is not the time to let fear and doubt quiet you down. This is a great time for those of you to go after it. And I'm going to tell you, like, in a way of balance, because balance is here, you know, right next to that, we do have temperance. But there's a lot of, like, go after it. The energy is in your favor. I kept getting this. Something about viral, going viral. That's big for someone, okay? The naysayers, let's get rid of them. The people that have been distracting you, let's get rid of them. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a permanent cutoff, but it's time to tunnel vision focus, okay? Simplify, okay? We're only incorporating what's necessary. When I get into a mode of focusing on my craft, on my little app, when I get into the mode of focusing on my craft, it's like my friends know I might not be able to talk to you as much as I was before, but I will see you when I see you and we can catch up. I might not be able to do certain activities. I might have to go to bed at a certain time so that I can wake up and be on a schedule. I might not be able to spend money on going out to eat with everybody. I might need to be at home, okay? Spending money maybe on Kindle books that help me understand astrology better or help me get a deeper meaning of tarot. I have to redirect my energy. What I used to do is now not going to fit. Especially if you are going to start to remove things, it's real big in your spread. Something else besides, you know, cutting out what needs to be cut out. Taking rest, honey. The Four of Swords is here. It's going to help you get success. I'm jumping around a little bit. But knowing, that's why it's so important for you guys to pick and choose what you indulge in. Like I said, if you had a vision of, I want my business to go to the next level. All right, well, if that's the case, what do I have room for? Okay, well, I have a family at home, so I know I need to make time for them. So boom, that's a slot. And I also know that I need to make some time for my craft. Boom, that's a slot. Dang, but I know my mental health be kind of dwindling and I know I need that time to reset. Boom, that's a slot. Let's say that just filled all your slots. You got to stick to that. Don't try to squeeze extra responsibilities, extra this, extra that, squeeze this person in. You just don't need to do it right now. You need to stick to the plan. If you got a family at home, have time with them. When you got to do your business stuff, do your business stuff. Have time to meditate and regroup. There's a lot of like making your environment and making your situation work for you and being comfortable with that. So some things are going to have to be cut out. Learning how to say no, learning how to refocus and be disciplined with your energy is going to really help you over these next 3 months. Now anyway, take that idea and bring it forward, especially anything you've been dreaming about, envisioning. Self-action, born leader, take the lead, respected position, mentorship, financial wisdom, viral energy. Business is going to be booming. Trust, okay? Trust your judgments. And I don't know, the word savvy came through. Business is going to be booming. For my people that have businesses, I know you got to know what I'm talking about. When business is busy, there are certain things that have to be sacrificed at that time. For example, when things get super busy for me, and this is something I'm still working on. Like I said, certain friendships might take the back burner for a second, or like at least the amount of conversation. However, one thing that they do not want you to do, they don't want you to become a workaholic. They don't want you to do that. They want you to have a balance. Have that time for self-care. You know, your loved ones, if that's something that's necessary, especially for you guys that have, you know, people at home. But find those necessities. What are your priorities? What is not a priority? And let that be exactly that. That's where we kind of like draw that line and then find that middle ground. Now, with this Temperance card right here, we have middle path, patience, forming good habits, okay? Listen, a way that you guys could be successful is by using your time to, like I said, redirect your energy, get those visions going, speak your truth, do what you need to do, go after it. But also it's like this fire I see burning around you, but it's also burning what's not needed, okay? It's keeping things, you know, in their respective places, and then allowing yourself to get accustomed to that. And kind of like, I'm almost seeing someone like, you ever see somebody like get in a chair, like they sit down and they're trying to get themselves comfortable? There's like this energy of finding balance and being comfortable in that. Some of you guys are used to being in chaotic energy, used to all that impulsiveness, used to having to spread yourself hella thin. I'm not going to say that there's not going to be challenges, but there's a better way to go about it. You don't have to be spread that thin. And that's why it's going to be important to prioritize, find balance, get rid of what's not needed, and simplify. Sometimes less is more. Also, better habits. Like I said, this could be just like I said with addictions. What is taking away from the vision? If you're wanting to increase your money, because I see it coming in, what do you do now that could possibly go against that? What is not contributing to your energy? Some of you guys have some people around you that are energy vamps, or just, I don't know, it just feels like an energy depletion. You need all the energy you can get, so you have to be very selective. And if you have a hard time saying no, honey, this is the time to learn boundaries and stand on that. Period. We have harmony, serenity, adapt, patience, moderation. Even though the King of Wands is here, the King of Wands is not giving the Knight of Wands, okay? There's a certain level of maturity here. Yes, there's a fire in you. Yes, there's this big leader energy, but this person also knows when to kind of, I'm almost seeing like take a step back. Like, you see how he's standing there in his position, the fire is there. He knows when to move, and he knows when to kind of like take a step back and kind of look around. It's just that balance between the energies. You don't have to be just black and white with your situation, okay? That's another thing. This is very specific. For some of you guys, you're doing something that is very special to you. And it feels like other people don't understand why you do it the way you do, because you're not doing it like how everybody else is. It feels like everybody else has done it a certain way, or maybe, yeah, I just keep getting like, why don't you do it like this? Or people not understanding why you go about what you go about the way you do. And at the end of the day, it can be hard to deal with that pushback from people. But you have to be so confident in your vision, and you have to stand on that and understand that this is what's working for you. There might be people that feel some type of way about you setting certain boundaries, but this is what's going to bring you success. At the end of the day, if you're trying to better yourself, get in your bag, I don't see why people have to have a problem with that. That's the problem in itself. Anyway. Remaining calm, not letting things get to you. Easier said than done. But with whatever it is that you do, there are going to be challenges. There are going to be bumps in the road. Your spiritual team wants you to learn patience and how to be adaptable. They're not saying you're wrong for feeling how you feel, but learning how to adapt. Not getting so big in a funk. Let me give you an example. Honey, obviously I'm a content creator. There have been times where I've spent hella time on editing a certain video, especially back in the day when I used to do vlogs. And I don't know, something would just happen where the whole clip would just delete. Anybody that does video editing, you know, when you have already done edits, you put over voice recordings, pictures, different things, cuts and snippets. When it deletes, or when something doesn't save, it's like if you wrote a paper for college, you just got on the 15th page, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, the computer turns off and everything is just gone. Even though you saved it, it was just like something stupid happened. Honey, now that situation, it might be a little hard to be adaptable, but I've had to learn how to be like, okay, obviously, I am frustrated. I had to take a second, process it, but then I always say, okay, that might be the YouTube gods telling me that I could do better. That might be my editing gods telling me that I could do better. Something could work out better. And every time, you know, after a while, it's something that occurred so many times that it helped me to learn skills on how to adapt quicker. Like if something deleted, before it would be so slow, and it would just take like a day or two, and I'd abandon the project, honey. I just be like, okay, whatever. Now I could be like, okay, that was frustrating, but let me just get back to it, and then let the energy flow back, let the creative energy come in, because I'm skilled like that. And I hate to say it like that, I don't want to be cocky, but y'all have to know that you're in this position of the Father of Wands. I'm not saying it's not going to be frustrating, but learning how to adapt, learning how to be like, you know what, hey, if this doesn't work, it is what it is. It might not have been meant for me. Having that kind of attitude is going to help. It's almost like letting things just fly. I'm not saying like let people walk over on you, but if things don't work out, partnerships don't happen, certain things go a different way, adapt, okay? It was meant to happen like that. Don't look at it as, oh, everybody's against me, I'm not going to be able to do this, this must be a sign that I can't do this. No, it's all happening for a reason. I'm telling you, as frustrating as it is, especially if you guys are doing something where you're in a position where you have to have skills, especially you managers, you might have a couple hard-headed co-workers, and you're like, why am I going through this? Why am I making these mistakes? Why? It's because it's helping you, because the position that you're in or the position that you're going into is giving executive. You need certain skills. It's going to be hard to accept it now, but later on, you're going to be like, okay, I'm glad that happened. I'm glad that took place when it did, because now I know how to handle this. All right. Anyway, remain calm. Don't let it get to you. This allows you to achieve more, higher learning, re-examine priorities, find greater purpose, steady, slow progress, becoming diligent, being fair. All right. Listen, some of y'all have a tendency to listen. You got to let those control issues go. If you know that there's someone else, let's say you work at a place, I don't know why this just came to my mind, but knowing when to ask for help or knowing when to let somebody else take the reins that you can trust is going to help you, okay? Trusting that somebody else can do it. Now, granted, I say that lightly because everybody's situation is going to be different, but I kept getting this imagery of someone not wanting maybe their partner to help them because they want to do it all by themselves. They want to be, I would say, Captain Saberho. They want to do everything by themselves, but then they wonder why they're burnt out. Then they wonder why they're frustrated. Then they wonder why they're irritated. Where you can give the burden to someone else or help, let somebody really help you that's genuinely can be trusted, do that. You don't have to carry everything, because with this Four of Swords, honey, for this to come out in the way it did, especially in this specific tarot deck, this card literally, and I wrote it down, your probability of success will increase when you rest. And it's right under the Temperance card. Know when to go forward, put the work in, but also have time for rest. This could be praying, meditation, certain activities where you can blow off some steam. And if you're someone right now where you're like, oh, I don't even have time to think about a little moment of meditation. And that's the issue. That's why we need boundaries. What else are you partaking in? Who else is taking up your time? Because I guarantee some of you guys are stressing yourself out. I ain't saying you got to spend a whole hour singing a kumbaya with a gong. I'm not saying that. But where can you take a little minute to just unload? And you have to stick to that. You know what I just thought of? Okay, have any of you guys seen, I don't even know if I can say this word on here. Okay, but there's a Netflix documentary. Well, it's not a documentary. It's a show that just came out. And it's about certain medication. There's a word in it that's pain. La da da da. The other word is killer. Blah, blah, blah. Oh my gosh, I don't even know if I can say that. But yes, if you know what I'm talking about, did you see the part where the lady who was like the detective, there was a moment where she was playing Tomb Raider and she had a timer, and then once that timer went off, she went over to her work and then she set a timer again. There are certain slots that she had where she can unwind. You can have a certain slot where you can stress. My therapist told me to do that. You know, have a little time where you can, you know, go over those thoughts and then let that be it. And then she had a time, like I said, where she got into the investigation of, you know, how are people misusing or doing all these different things with the specific, I can't say the word, but the specific medication. Okay, if you know what I'm talking about, you should definitely check that out. But, and if that sounds like a lot, let me tell you something. There are so many people that want to be successful and they want to be in a higher position, but then when it comes to like some of the things that they're needing to do, especially when it comes to discipline, some people just don't have that discipline. And that's where all of this is happening. It's testing. Do you really want this? Do you really know what comes with this? Learn discipline. Give yourself that time slot. Become more organized. Prioritize. It's time to mature. Period. Anyway, so this is the King of Wands, clarifying the King of Wands. What card is this, girl? I forgot. Oh, the Hermit. Yes. Yes. Let me get my little stuff. Stay authentic. Alone time. Follow your inner voice. Know when to disconnect. Next level, do something with that knowledge. Okay, with the knowledge that you learned during this time, well, one, seek knowledge. Seek higher knowledge, especially if you're, let's say you're a tarot reader. Like I said, get deeper in your craft. Find different activities to do to help you gain more knowledge, and then share that, okay? There's a lot here about sharing what you've learned. You guys are almost coming through as like a mentor or a teacher, a parent, okay? So, you know, be fruitful in that way as far as like giving other people knowledge where you can. But learning when to rest. You literally have the Devil card right here as what not to do. The Devil card is right here for what not to do. They don't want you to start overworking, getting into a schedule where you're becoming burnt out. The minute you start doing too much, that's when things are going to start to fall down and force you to take a rest. So it's better now to learn. What do I need to do? What's a good routine for me where I can get what I need done while also taking care of myself? That is something really big right now that's going to help you to have success. Because like I said, y'all are either in a high position right now or something. There's going to be a level up. It seems like more money, more clout, more clients, more responsibilities. I'm seeing all of that. So they need you to get everything in order now or take the steps to do that. We also have the Eight of Wands and we have the Four of Wands. Now, in this picture, there's a couple who have took the placenta of, you know, the child that she had. And then they also took some flowers and they planted them, you know, to give basically good energy, bring good luck to them to have another baby, to have for the baby, for themselves, for the home. So I feel like there's a lot here about, I want to say your foundation, remembering that end goal, remembering to have a place to come back to where you can, you know, have a sacred space, where you can have a moment with self, with your family, knowing when to disconnect. I don't know why this is coming through. Some people here might struggle with ego, but there's multiple cards here that talk about being in the world but not of it. Is that what the saying is? Being of the world but not in it, being in the world but not of it. Letting go of worldly things, letting your pride go, not living over your means to keep up with the Joneses. There's a lot of like sticking to a specific plan, okay? Even if it's not that aesthetically pleasing, because in the end, that's what's going to bear fruits for you. We also have with this Eight of Wands, eye-opening experience. Okay, the negative side of the Eight of Wands could be wasted energy. They don't want you to waste your energy. They want you to prioritize, like I said, and then put your energy in places that actually matter. And be real with yourself, too, about what that is. Sudden changes, excitement, good news, advancement. Okay, watch impulsive spending. Don't feel rushed. During this time, there might be moments where you feel like you have to get in panic mode, or where you have to get in survival mode. They want you to take a step back with this Four of Swords. Temperance card, take a step back. They don't want you to rush to make certain decisions. Of course, go after what you need to. But let's say if some of you guys are signing contracts, if you're needing to get back to someone, if you are having to give a speech or try to articulate yourself, take a step back. Ground yourself with that Four of Wands. Connect back to a place of sacred groundedness. And then give your response. There's a balance between impulses and just knowing when to take a step back. It's just crazy how we have all this fire energy, but then we also have like the Four of Swords, taking that step. Okay, learning how to do this is going to really help you guys to be successful. There is definitely a balance between work and play, for sure. But of course, but also still having work and play. My phone just cut off and then my Ring camera just went off. It's 9:19 on the clock. I hope you heard that part. If you did it, it just wasn't meant to be heard. Now, like I said with that Devil card, we have addiction, burnout, workaholic tendencies. Be on high alert with negative people. This is not to scare you, but I feel like with this Devil card, this just talks about you gotta be real. What is not necessary right now? Arguing with BM, baby mama, with BD, baby daddy, letting them come in and infiltrate, hanging with that friend that's not doing nothing with their life, overspending, taking on too many clients when you don't have the time. It's like, what do we need to cut back on? Period, point blank. And that's what we need to do. And then we also have the Hierophant here as coming through as something to release. Be okay. Like I said, sometimes you'll be the teacher. Sometimes you'll need to take a step back and be the student. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to make mistakes. But it's also okay to, you know, change as you go and adapt. You don't have to stick to your guns or go against every battle or just, you know, be that resistant energy all the time. Be flexible during this time because there's going to be a lot of things that you learn. There is going to be a change of perspective. Some things you're going to release and let go, change, and, you know, grab onto as far as like what you learn. Be open to that. Be open to that. So give me a second. I'm thirsty as frick. Okay. There's a lot of energy around knowing what battles, like, know your battles. I don't know. This is where I feel like the pride comes. Some of y'all could be very hot-headed. Know your battles because you need your energy elsewhere. What's next for my viewers. We have patience. Interesting. I know you saw it. Patience. And it's crazy because when I think of a spider, spiders are dope. And I say that while looking around to see if there's one on me, because I'm actually arachnophobic, girl. But they are though. Like, have you ever seen them actually make a web? And honey, if you knock it down, I bet you by the next day another one's going to be built. But look at all those intricate details. Okay, there's certain strength that those webs have. There's a certain way that they do it. Very intelligent, hard workers. They take the time. What you're trying to do will need a sense of patience. I also feel like if you don't have patience, just understand that's why these different responsibilities and new eye-opening experiences are going to happen. So be flexible. Just remember, if it happens and you're like, dang, why did that just happen? I'm telling you, it's all to help you master these skills, because for you to progress, promote, go to this higher level, you have to have this skill of patience, especially for those of you dealing with clients. Tranquility. They don't want you to be in this place where you feel like I just gotta work. It's not giving booked and busy. It's giving, I can't remember the quote, but it's like something and well rested. It's like you have the adequate clientele, you're getting the money you need, you're not overworking yourself, you're also well rested, and money's almost making itself. There's just a level of tranquility that's needed for you to be successful. Learn when to take breaks. Learn how to say no. Learn how to simplify. You don't have to do it all. And we also have clearing. Yes. Clear it up now. Prioritize now. Do the little sweepy, okay? Period. I do want to try to find this box. I don't know if I'm going to find it, though. If I do, I'll come back on and tell you guys what this stone is, because it's probably very needed for this group to know. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing. So yes, you guys, that was your spread. Please let me know how it resonates, and I'll see you guys down below in the comments. This is a good one. What's up, how to? Really quick, I just wanted to say this. When I read, those of you that have been here for a while, welcome to the new people. If I do certain things right before my reading, oh yeah, 1111 is definitely a big number for this group. But if I do certain things, see certain things, like how I'm seeing that number for the umpteenth time right before your spread, I have to talk about it, okay? So this doesn't have to apply. Some of you guys, you might have some goldfish as a pet, but really I was talking about like the goldfish you eat. You could have those on top of the fridge right now, or you could have those like those. Some of you guys have just left Starbucks, or you're a Starbucks morning run, you like a good cold brew. Chick-fil-A. All right, you got the nuggies. I feel like the sauce, Chick-fil-A sauce, somebody here likes to mix together ketchup and mayo. And honey, what a good combination. I just had that myself, okay? Let me see what else I was getting. Okay, true crime fanatics. You could be a true crime person. And also a real housewife fanatic, okay? Yes. So I'm gonna be a little bit out of breath. Those that know, they know why. But yeah, girl, just let me live. So this is my thing. First of all, let me just scoot you guys in, because this is big energy, but we do got to talk about some things. I'm going to try to check y'all real quick first, because I have to. I'm sorry. I know you see that sun right there, Leo energy, in the first house, honey. Listen, you guys are super magnetic, but the pride and the ego, we have to keep it in check. Just remember that. But anyway, what you need to focus on, what came out for the Astro Dice, again, we have the sun energy, and then we have first house. So sun in the first house. Some of you guys could have sun in the first house, but I'll talk about that a little bit more as we go down in the spread. What you need to focus on, honey, we got that good old Queen of Pentacles. And if you go back to when I was shuffling, the Nine of Pentacles popped up. I think I did a slow-mo. I might not have. We'll see. But we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, and then we have the Five of Wands. For advice, we have the Fool card, the Chariot, and the King of Wands. What we don't need to focus on, we have the King of Swords and the Four of Cups. And then extra information, we have Creation. This is a beautiful picture. I don't feel like I've ever picked this card. I could be wrong. Some of you guys could be pregnant, but really, just speaking in general, honey, let me just tell y'all real quick. Y'all are super magnetic. That's what we need to focus on. We need to focus on and capitalize off of our magnetism, possibly even our aesthetic. Those of you that have businesses, this would be a great time to start to get your brand back in order, rebrand. I'm not gonna lie, I'm seeing a couple different scenarios, so let me just go over those first before I jump in. Some of you guys, this is going to be talking about someone who owns a business branching out. Okay, let's say you're used to being a nail tech. Let's say you're a nail tech. Let's say you've been keeping it real safe, only doing toenail acrylics, okay? Maybe simple designs, but you've always thought about maybe branching out. Maybe traveling services, maybe even doing a little bit of more of those creative designs. This would be a great time to do that. Extra money. Others of you, I'm seeing adding a side hustle, having another means of money, focusing on that. This could be a side gig. This could be picking up like an Amazon Flex, branching out with your business. Whoever I'm talking to, there's a real big energy here of making more money, stepping outside of your comfort zone. It could be within your business, like I said, branching out, doing a little bit more. The things that you're scared of, doing more of those exaggerated looks, traveling to different clientele, trying different looks, trying different cuisines, okay? Maybe there's a safe zone here. Now for others of you, honey, some of y'all know you don't like to work under people. You might be going through certain struggles at this time, conflicts, competitive, situations. I just keep seeing this energy. If you have a boss, two things I could say about this. If you have a boss or just someone ahead of you that's just getting on your nerves, that should be motivation for you to promote. Some of you guys, there's a lot of I keep hearing, why is Pile 2 so frustrated? But they're not taking and capitalizing off of this moment to get them in a higher position so that they don't have to be up under someone. There's a lot of why, if Pile 2, I'm sorry, did I say Pile 1? If Pile 2 does not like to take direction from other people. If pile 2 wants to kind of be in a powerful position, then pile 2 needs to have that focus. And they got to get out that comfort zone. They have to go for that promotion. They got to put themselves out there. They got to get their image together, okay? Present their best self, get organized. Boom. For others of you, though, there's an energy here of, why do you keep trying to work for people knowing you don't like to take direction? Now, if you have to do that, that's one thing, but I'm not going to lie. This Queen of Pentacles to this Page of Pentacles, some of you guys are not being appreciated in a specific job set. This specific scenario does feel like for my corporate people, where it just feels like you're not getting the shine that you need. You're not really able to expand. And because of that, it might be time for you to stop trying to make something work that's not working. Find a new job. Write up a resume. Take your skills elsewhere. Go where you're appreciated, okay? I just had to get those out the way. So really quick, let me look over my notes real quick. Because, honey, that Queen of Pentacles is popping, okay? Anyway, a lot of what I was kind of getting when we talk about what you need to focus on, your next project, your next creation with this creation card. What do you want to birth next? How can you expand your business? How can you step outside of your comfort zone? Is there a class or a course that you could be taking right now? It does feel like there has been some intimidation behind this on why you haven't done it, or for others of you, let's just be honest. I mean, if you're already in this Queen of Pentacles position, possibly this King of Swords position, there's just this vibe of like, everything's been going great, you know I could be making more money, but I'm comfortable. You're being asked to step outside of your comfort zone because I'm hearing you could be making more money. Bam. How can you increase your finances? How can you expand your skills? Step outside of your comfort zone. That's how you're going to take it to the next level. That's where your focus needs to be. How can I take myself to the next level? Be in the spotlight and shine with this Leo in this first house. But the thing about Leo in the first house, pride and ego just comes with it. Pride and ego just comes with it. You have to keep this in check. Whoever I'm talking to, you probably already have a well-established business, or you just have this leadership type of energy. You might even find yourself in conflict when you're normally working with other people, or when you're working up under someone, because a lot of you guys are meant to be in the forefront. Pay attention to that. Is it time for you to switch jobs? Is it time for you to be like, you know what, I'm frustrated. I'm tired of this boss trying to tell me what to do. So how about you become the boss? How about you try to promote? I'm tired of just staying in my comfort zone. I'm ready to branch out and add a little bit more depth to my business. Some of you guys, let me think of some other examples. It just feels like you've gotten so used to one specific task and you're scared to branch out. But branching out would be great. Maybe you have a YouTube channel and you want to start a Patreon. YouTube channel is doing good, but you want to start a Patreon. Maybe you're doing tarot, but you're going to be studying astrology so you can add some depth. Maybe you have very good cooking skills. You cook for close friends, very domestic, very, wifely, motherly, fatherly, but whoever you are, it doesn't matter. There's just this real energy of like, I like to give to people. Ooh, I got a good one. Maybe it's time for you to branch out, start selling dinners out of your home. There's like a different way you could be making money with a skill that you already have. Some of you guys are in a boss position, I almost cussed. And this is giving, honey, you're fly at doing nails. You're fly at being a chef. You're fly at tarot, okay? You're fly at this business lifestyle. You would be great, take it if it resonates, as a mentor. Maybe offering a course, having people pay for it. Showing people how to do nails. Showing people how to do acrylic. Having some type of course to share your skills. That's a lot of this right here when I think of the Queen of Pentacles. But anyway, I gotta go to my notes because, honey, I'll be all over the place. So, some of the things that I wrote, you are very skilled and blessed. Destiny, practically you are an asset to, and give me a second. Oh, someone's name here could be Destiny. That was something that came through. Practically you are an asset to any and all environments, okay? You're very into comforts, luxuries. I feel like that's where the focus should be. How could you become more comfortable? Well, not even how could you become more comfortable. Not in the way of staying in your comfort zone, but like almost like sharing your wealth. There's a certain level of wealth that I feel like this pile has, and it's coming through as domestic talents, okay? You guys are very wanted, very attractive. Like I said, some of the businesses that I got: cooking, garden, a gardener, beauty specialist, nail, lash tech, esthetician, a chef. Branch off, challenge yourself, take a risk. Okay, boom. Home businesses, luxury, aesthetics, fertile energy, success, prosperity, stability. With this Queen of Pentacles, again, recognize your skill. Take that and do more with it. How can you expand yourself? How can you take yourself to the next level? Whoever I'm talking to, don't worry about the competition. I mean, even if you have competition around you, you guys have the grit, the willpower, the strength to be able to beat them out. Now with that, this is my, it won't apply to everybody, but I ain't gonna lie, with this type of power, this is my group that, you know, if you know how they say, if you let him slide, he gonna ice skate. If we let you slide, you're gonna get cocky. It's like, if you let them go an inch, they're gonna take a mile. Be humble during this process. If there has to be a time, like I said, Queen of Pentacles, this doesn't take away from your skill if you have to step into a Page of Pentacles position. Obviously, the Page of Pentacles is a couple steps down, so to say, from the Queen of Pentacles. Don't take that as like a burst to your ego. Don't try to act like you know it all. This is not the time to act like we know it all. Be able to not only be the leader, but also, for those of you where it will apply, be able to be the student, because you need certain knowledge to take whatever this idea is to the next level. Nobody is above learning more, okay? I keep getting this energy of someone being scared of their clients, arguing with their clients. I don't know why I keep getting this energy of a nail tech. Listen, if you do branch out during this process, it will be an adjustment. There will be new struggles that come with it, new conversations. Let's say if you're wanting to do more creative pieces versus whatever you've been doing standardly, there might be some people that like it, that don't like it. You might have to tweak. You know, you're not going to be perfect in this, okay? But in the long run, it's going to really pay off. That is where we have to have our ego in check during this time. Have your ego in check. Understand that you will have to take a little bit of a back seat, even though it's taking a back seat to put yourself on the next level. It's going to be an adjustment. I just keep getting this energy of like someone saying, I'm not used to messing up, or I'm not used to having to be the student. I'm not used to that. Well, honey, taking that step back is going to allow you to really progress, because whatever this Page of Pentacles represents, it represents new territory. Be open, be curious, be willing, be loyal to what it is that you want to do that's separate from this Queen of Pentacles, and really put, like, I don't want to say necessarily your all, but it is giving like your all into it, okay? Allow yourself to have free range with this Fool card. Allow yourself to make mistakes. Take some risk, okay? Learn as you go. Because when it comes to you guys, I'm not really scared of saying that and thinking that you're going to take like dumb risks. No, it just feels like you're going to be expanding yourself, trying things that you might have always wanted to try, but were too scared to. Going after certain goals that you might have always wanted to go after, but you were like, you know what, I don't know, you know, I'm so used to what I do now. It's working. I'm getting great accolades from this. And I've been in a place where I haven't had to fail. I haven't really had to deal with that backlash. So I'm just going to stay here. Even though I know if I branched out, it would help progress me. I'm not. Don't be scared of criticism. Don't take it personal. That's when we get into this King of Swords. Don't be a know-it-all at this time. Be flexible, but also be very determined in what you're doing. These are the things that they want you to focus on. Really, I could start this reading and end this reading with, how can you take yourself to the next level? Okay, period. Whoever has businesses here, you have the capabilities to shine past the competition, past who wants to do what you do or who does what you do. Not that we want to say it in an egoic way, but it's the truth. So with that being said, this is not the time to get into drama or to bring ourselves down to the level, let pride get in the way. This is a time to like rise above that. I don't know who needs to hear that, but that was for someone here. Also for others of you that are just tired of being stagnant and you feel like you got to take it to the next level, listen to that. Some of you guys are meant to be traveling. You're meant to start a home business. All the things that I've already said, I don't even want to keep repeating it, but you feel me? Like all of that. So let me go to my next page, girl. Let me read this over just a little bit. Yes. Whoever you are, that's the thing. You're very talented. I don't know. I keep getting talented business, mentor, share your skills for profit. Get that money, honey. Queen of Pentacles, she knows herself and she has high standards, okay? She also gives. She's a giver, but she makes sure that she's good as well. There's something here about that. Because whatever it is that you do or whatever it is that you have to offer, it in itself it will be an asset for a lot of people. It's like no one does it like you. Look, and I'm telling y'all to keep your ego in check, but here I go boosting you. But for real. So before you think, well, maybe I shouldn't do that because who's going to pay for my services? Honey, you'll be surprised. It's time to step out. Others of you, it might be time, like I said, if you know your skills are above where you're currently working and you feel like your work is kind of keeping you, I don't want to say necessarily subdued, that probably wouldn't be the word, but they're kind of like putting a cloud over you, like kind of putting you in the corner, not letting you challenge yourself, not really letting you, you know, do more, elevate. It might be time to find a different job. Take that chance. Move. Go into something that's more passionate. It might be time to stop with the corporate world and go into our own line of business. Now, of course, you want to have a plan while you're doing that. That's what this is talking about to me, like a plan. Cultivating that. It's a seed, getting the idea going. Sometimes we just need the idea to start going. And then have that plan. Pay attention to your environment. Use that as leverage. And use that to help feed your intuition. And then take that leap when you feel ready. Now, high standards, luxury, organized, great advice, great partner, responsible. Sorry, I'm just looking over my notes. Page of Pentacles. Dreams, desire, new opportunity, luck, business venture, curious, open-minded, goal-oriented, diligent, loyal, faithful, plans for the future, focus, take risk, invest safe and traditionally. Higher education program. Okay. Others of you, I'm getting something about school here. Or learning something, which I feel like I already see all this stuff. I feel like I already talked about. Let's talk about advice with this Fool card, this Chariot, and this King of Wands. You guys are meant to be in the forefront. When I think of the King of Wands, I think of the leader. I think of someone who has a big vision. They lead with passion, but they also, I don't want to say necessarily that they're grounded, but they just have a certain level of maturity that tells them when to pop off in a sense. And want to kind of sit back and just let that fire kind of fester. There's this energy of willpower, strength, taking risks, being authentic to yourself, allowing yourself to expand without limitations, okay? Gotta let go of control. And I know this sounds weird saying it like this, but don't be so, I keep getting this. This is for someone very specific, what I'm about to say. It's like, don't be so worried about if you're gonna mess up. This is very ego-like, like someone being worried about the likes or if they're gonna mess up or it not being perfect. Let that go, because honey, whatever this is that I'm talking about, it's going to be successful. I see it all in the cards. I see it. It may seem intimidating at first, but you're being asked to go for it. Come on now, the Fool, the Chariot, and the King of Wands. Come on. It's all right there. Period, point blank. Especially for those that could be police officers. I know we're switching gears here. Like those of you that could be police officers or work for the government. I keep hearing something about you're supposed to be in a higher position. So it might be time to really go after that promotion. Start studying for that test for you to promote. Okay. Maybe you're trying to get your licensure. Some of you guys are social workers. Whatever it is, there's like this energy of what you should be focusing on is that, as far as like, what could you be studying? What could you be investing in at this time that you've been kind of avoiding, okay, or scared to do? What could you be, like I said, studying, taking part in to advance you past the competition, past the inner conflict that you may have? Because for some of you guys, this is you competing for a position with this Five of Wands, or it's you trying to get past your self-doubts and self-limitations. It's like, how can we do that and where can we focus? Another thing, just going back to that sun in that first house, honey, this lets me know, honey, the energy is in your favor. It's time to be magnetic. That's why they want you to be in this place of birthing. Look at that. Boom. Bah. It's like, boom. That's the seed. What is that seed to you? Now, when we talk about like what to avoid, if I'm being honest with this King of Swords and this Four of Cups, I'm going to keep it simple, how it's coming through to me, but you guys can definitely look at this and see it as something else. When I asked about what to avoid, I really feel like this has to do with being too controlling, perfectionism, bossy behavior. Those of you that have already promoted, don't forget where you came from. Those of you that are elevating right now and you're, you know, trying to, because I'm getting that too. Some of you guys have already elevated to a different position. You have a new subscriber count. You have a new clientele base. Don't you dare forget where you came from. Okay? Watch becoming arrogant. And there's a difference between confidence and arrogance. Okay? Listen. So just hold yourself accountable there. Keep the ego in check. Be open to learning. And, you know, also, with this Four of Cups, I don't know why this keeps coming through. Let me pull another card really quick. Tell me why this is coming. Because some of you guys are just so used to, you might just struggle with perfectionism. So even when you're doing a good job, if it's not giving, like, I don't know, if it's not giving the full picture as soon as you start, it's like, okay, bye. Like if you start a job, obviously you have to learn new things. But if you're not good at it as soon as you started, you're like, okay, goodbye. Yeah, this is not giving that. This is something that you have to commit to, be loyal to, and be ready to, like I said, become the student and then become back to the teacher, okay? Be humble during this process. For those of you, like I was going to say, if you are, now I'm going to the military. Let's say you're in the military and you just promoted from a senior airman to a staff sergeant. Don't you dare start using that position to start being like a dictator in the way that you didn't like. Remember what type of leader you always wanted. Remember what type of business owner you always wanted to interact with. Keep that in the forefront and remember that as you're gaining this power. And it's nothing against you guys, but with all this powerful energy around you, I know you see it with the Queen of Pentacles, the King of Wands, the King of Swords. Like, come on now. It's like, it's bound to happen where the ego kind of gets out of line. Keep it in check. Okay? Keep it in check. That's interesting. The Nine of Cups. And sometimes that could talk about ego as well. Some would even say narcissism, but I'm not saying that for y'all. I'm not. But it's just saying, stay humble. All right? And also, don't be greedy. I don't know why this is coming through, because when I look at this, I'm thinking of someone, and that's where that Leo in the first house. I remember I was watching KRS astrology, and he was talking about, he gave an example of how someone in the first house would react. Like, let's say there's a ride, and let's say I'm in the line for the ride, and so is little Timmy. So what ends up happening is I get on the ride before little Timmy because I'm obviously in front. Little Timmy's behind me throwing a fit. Oh my gosh! Why do they get to go on the ride first? I want to go on the ride first. Why do they get to go on the ride? But it's like, little Timmy, you're going to get on the ride. You're literally about to walk on right behind me. Why are you being a brat? That's what this is giving me. It's like, you have an opportunity here. It's right in front of your face, but you're so busy on what someone else is doing, what they're getting, who's first, how they're doing, how you're looked at. It's like, let's let go of that shit. Oh, I almost cussed. Let's let it go, okay? Keep the ego in check. That's all I really could say without confusing it, all right? So let me see if there's one more card. 1 second. That could be just the focus too. Interesting. Wait, I gotta see how that came up because I had my deck backwards. We got the devil card. Oh yeah, this was in reverse, and now we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. There's some, I don't know why I keep thinking about this ego stuff. I don't want to say this. This is very interesting. Some of you guys, there's something that you're doing, although it may be paying the bills, it's played out. And you may start to see it decline if you don't branch out. I'm not saying like, well, let me just shut up. I'm gonna just say it like that. If you don't branch out, if you don't start expanding yourself. It's almost like I feel your spiritual team forcing you to be in a situation where you have to expand, where you have to get that courage to go after what you want. I don't know what that's about. But like worldly things, do not become obsessed with that. They don't want you to become obsessed with that. I don't know. There's a lot of like, keep the ego in check. So that should be a focus right now. So yes, you guys, that was your spread. Please let me know how it resonates, and I'll see you guys down below in the comments. Okay, what's up, pile 3? Listen, I am so out of breath. The amount of stairs I just had to walk up to make it to my apartment. The heat is crazy. I don't know where y'all live, but honey, I'm not even in Florida no more. And the heat is insane. It's like every day I'm waking up to a heat warning. Every day my Ring camera is letting me know that the heat is excessive. Girl, I almost thought I wasn't gonna make it. And I wanted to lead with that. Because, well, first of all, who am I talking to? Let me tell y'all the energy that I'm picking up on. This is a very, very specific pile. It's also very spiritual. I feel like the collective that I'm talking to is is likely going through a spiritual awakening for the umpteenth time, or maybe your first one, an ascension, some type of transformation where you're getting rid of old beliefs and entering into the new beliefs, the beliefs that fit what you're accustomed to, what you feel comfortable with. This could even be, not that I'm trying to, you know, persuade anybody, maybe you grew up very religious and you're starting to find out that that just doesn't resonate with you anymore. Now here you are. And maybe through you making that transformation and trying to seek that knowledge, you're getting some backlash, whether it be because of family, family, friends, whoever. People are not understanding it. Others of you, like I said, you're going through this process of transformation. We always say the word transformation, but it just feels like a new chapter. I want to do new things. I want to be authentic to myself. I'm tired of living in a certain way that doesn't feel authentic to me. I'm ready to create and live by my own doctrine. regardless of how other people feel about it. I'm also picking up on someone could be a mystic, a tarot reader. What was I about to say? A spiritual developer. Okay, what else was I gonna say? Reiki master. You could be some type of mentor, a teacher. It doesn't necessarily have to be spiritual, but it feels spiritual. Now, girl, let me tell you something. The reason why I said like some of you guys are definitely going through an ascension process, because with this Five of Swords, I'm getting a lot of growing pains. And I'm like getting out of breath. Rightfully so, girl, all them damn stairs. But I'm getting out of breath. I have some aches right now. I also feel like this talks about the people that you're losing while you're going through this transition. Learning how to have grace with yourself. Learning how to stick to your boundaries, even when other people are going against it, especially if you know you're not trying to necessarily hurt anybody, but these are just your beliefs. It almost reminds me of, like I said, I'm not here to persuade anybody when it comes to what they believe in. I personally believe in God. I grew up Baptist. There are still some beliefs that I still hold with me, 333 on the clock. But obviously I'm very spiritual, okay? There are people that would look at what I'm doing and think, oh, this is of the devil. Oh my God, she had just went over to the dark side. But what I've done for myself, and it takes time, is I found a way, once I seek certain knowledge, I found what worked for me. A lot of people can't grasp the fact that I'm a firm believer of God and that I also do tarot. Okay, but I don't care. You know, I used to at first. It was very rocky, had some arguments with family, had some little subscribers or people that I don't even know saying stuff to me, you know, trying to have a like come to Jesus moment, all these different things. But I had to find what was best for me, because we have this mystic here. This represents the Hierophant. We also have the Wayfarer, which while I'm looking at this, what is that? I wrote it down. Give me a second, girl. Oh, of course, the Lovers. So we have the Hierophant, the Lovers, real big major arcana energy. We also have the Five of Swords. We have the Death card a little bit sideways, so we can kind of read that in reverse. We also have here with potential, we have the Fool card. Okay, I'll get that like a little zoomed in later. And then I'll get into all this later, all right? For me, how this resonates for me, and I'm gonna get into the other like, you know, depictions and scenarios that I'm getting. I'm almost getting this energy. You see these two moons right here? That to me represented my old beliefs and then the beliefs that were trying to come in. You got this wand here. This could be inspiration. Some of you guys might see that as a sword that's lit up. I was illuminating the truth for myself. I'm not here to tell you what the truth is, what's right or wrong, but I started to feel uncomfortable with growing up, just going with certain traditions, not really understanding why, when I had so many questions. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, why are people so, oh, this might be triggering for some people, but I'm like, you know, why is there so much demonizing crystals and things like that? But like, we're amplifying God. I feel like God created the crystals. I feel genuinely there's a balance. It all is about the intention, what side you fall on, what choices you make. This is a whole thing. I do not want to get into it. But that to me is representing the Lovers. With this Five of Swords, as I was starting to make those illuminations, find those truths, I was beginning to change. I was turning into this Hierophant figure, learning, gaining wisdom, 1 minute being the student, the next minute being the teacher. Spiritual development was happening. However, with this Five of Swords, I was getting into some arguments with some people, rubbing some people the wrong way. I might have got triggered if someone didn't understand or if they said certain things. And then I just had to get to a point where I said, what feels good for you with this Lovers card? What feels authentic to you with this Fool card? How do we detach from the fear of standing up for ourselves and standing up for what it is that you believe in, because you know your purpose? Like I always tell people, I ain't girl. I'm trying not to even explain myself because that's how triggering this could be. But it's just one of those things where I'm like, I feel like for those of you that might fall into that, regardless of how you look at it, oh girl, is they fighting outside? Oh, she laughing. Girl, they be high as hell over there. And I don't blame them. But anyway, I just feel like where your focus needs to be. Where your focus needs to be. If you fall in line with that, it doesn't have to be about religion, spirituality. This is just about what is your doctrine? What is your tradition? What do you like to do? It feels like something about where you're headed might be challenging other people. Maybe they don't want to see you progress that way. Maybe they don't agree with that. Maybe they're like, no, you need to follow family traditions. But that doesn't make you feel good about yourself. Maybe some of you guys have gone this spiritual path and you're struggling with the light and dark aspects of it. And I feel like with this Lover's card, there's this energy of how can you find union authentically to you? Now, what I'm saying is this. For example, when I first got into all my, well, I was always, had a spiritual side, but let's just say this. You know how some people have these different rules and guidelines about how to use sage? For a while, I got so caught up in like, okay, well, people are saying to use it like this. And then I was like, you know what, forget that. That doesn't resonate with me. I do what I want to do. I do what speaks to me, what calls to me, what I'm comfortable with. There are some things that, even as a spiritual person, I'm not comfortable with. And there are some things that I are, or that I am. So I feel like regardless of what this situation is, your focus should be, how can you seek and be comfortable with this spiritual development, this knowledge that you're gaining, this new doctrine that you're like creating for yourself? How can you stand on that and feel comfortable in that? How can you be okay with letting certain things fall to the wayside if it doesn't match up with where you're headed? How can you validate yourself? How can you make better choices? How can you stand on your boundaries? Like I said, I'm just using that religious and spiritual example. But honey, something else I was getting, for example, let's say you're a spiritual teacher. You're a tarot reader, okay? When you look around, you're seeing all these people doing tarot a certain way, and it almost feels like this. Have you ever jumped into something and you just wanted to be so good at it? Okay? So you're trying to gain the knowledge, do the things in the traditional way, learn tarot by the book, but then you're also trying to keep up with other people because you're like, I feel like I'm kind of behind. Well, they go by the book, but I noticed that Populona doesn't go by the book. She kind of does it this way. So I feel like I should do this. And you're kind of losing yourself. Okay? What I'm saying is, during this transition, whatever this transition is for you, whether it's with your business, your spiritual beliefs, you're going to school, university, while you're seeking this knowledge, find a place where you can hold space for yourself and be like, you know what? I don't have to, for example, using that tarot example, I don't have to be like everyone else, I don't have to move at a pace that's comfortable for everyone else. I can move it at my own pace. This is my journey. Because when I look at this Mystic card, the Hierophant to me does talk about taking the traditional way. Let's say you want to start a business. This may talk about going about it in the traditional way at first. Such as, okay, you want to open a restaurant. Damn, I don't know what they do to open a restaurant. Let me say something else. Okay, let's say you want to start a YouTube channel. All right, so maybe you start to research. Maybe you sign up for AdSense, create an email. I can't remember how I made my YouTube channel, but you do all those basic steps that everybody does, that everybody has to do in order to get there. You learn the trinkets, but then you empower yourself. Instead of getting lost in the sauce of what everybody else is doing, how they want you to do it, how they want you to move, you then empower yourself to make your own choices to what fits for you. Maybe, like I said, yeah, you followed the traditional way on how to make a YouTube channel, but maybe what you do after that as far as your niche, or how you do your tarot readings, how you want to relay your messages, that is totally authentic to you, regardless of how people feel about it. You know how many people try to tell me how to do my dang on channel? Come on, y'all. Woo, don't get me cussing today. Don't act like you don't know, okay? This is giving to me, even for myself, I gotta keep going to these examples because it can get very confusing for me. I know, honey, I'd be like, land, Paige, land. Almost like learning tarot. When I needed to learn tarot, of course I'm very intuitive. I had that intuition already. A lot of you guys are very intuitive. Empower yourself. So going back to that example, I might go to the book when I'm first starting off because I really don't know what's going on. You know, I just want to see, you know, get to know each deck instead of me just placing the cards out and being able to channel. Maybe I have to sit with the book. Maybe I have to write certain stuff down. Maybe I have to go through those traditional steps. But while you're doing that, try not to compare yourself to other people in their advancement. Try not to overwhelm yourself. Now you're trying to learn astrology, tarot, the symbolic meaning behind the depictions. You know, maybe you're looking at a card and you're like, why? What do the pomegranates mean? What does this mean? Then you're overwhelming yourself. Find a routine that is authentic and balanced for you while you are in transition. Also, let's say, like I said, you're transitioning from being super religious to spiritual. Who said you gotta be doing it what everybody else is doing? I be hating that. Like, spiritual means you do whatever. It's open, it's limitless. It's like, find what works for you. Maybe you're not comfortable with talking to ancestors. Maybe you're comfortable with praying to your ancestors, but you're not comfortable with giving offerings. Maybe you're comfortable with reading about esoteric knowledge, but you're not yet comfortable with displaying it. Regardless of what this is, I know I keep going back and forth with those specific examples. Whatever this is, what we need to focus on is how can we empower ourselves to be authentic in what it is that we want for ourselves. How can we get in alignment with where our soul is leading us? What is our routine? Where is our spirit taking us? How can we have grace with ourselves as we're learning? Like I said, whether this is spiritual, whether this is business-wise, how can you have grace with yourself? How can you stand on your decisions without being swayed by what other people are doing? Maybe people are judging you, threatening to leave. Okay, that just means that they're not meant to move forward. You guys are going through a progression in some way, shape, or form, whether it's spiritual, whatever. There's a progression here. So yes, you're going to lose some people. Yes, you're going to shed some old skin. Yes, there are going to be some people who kind of show their true colors at this time, okay? But how can you empower yourself to stand on what you said, basically? Now let me go to my notes, honey. That was crazy. That was a little channel message. I was like, girl, stay on topic. So another thing is too, I don't know if y'all noticed, but in the beginning, did y'all see how I was like, when I tried to do this deck, if you know, you know. But I be struggling with these Roman numerals. This is something that I've been saying I need to study, I need to learn, take a second, and I haven't done it. Another thing is, if there's something involved with your craft or with what you do that intimidates you, or that you know if you took the time to learn it, it would make things easier, that is something to focus on, okay? It could be, like I said, you're a tarot reader. How can you progress yourself? I'm hella out of breath. So anyway, with the Hierophant, I have ritual work, routine, intuition, tailor it to you. Own your power, inspiration, how to channel higher guidance. Some of you guys, there's a lot of focusing on how can you connect to a higher power. Again, I'm not telling you what to believe in. I believe in God, so you know, but how can you connect to God, divine, higher power? But how can you connect back to your knowledge, your intuition? There's been too much flooding with other people's desires, their limitations, what they want you to do, and it's time to break free. There's a lot of energy about, I want to break free. I want to have my own mind. I want to be able to stand up for myself. I want to be able to be that knower of what I do, and like really know what it is that I do and feel comfortable in what it is that I do and feel authentic in that. Okay, I want to be knowledgeable, powerful, witty, standing on my boundaries, 10 toes motherfucking down. That's what I want to do. Tired of being a yes man. There's an energy of no more yes men. 1717. Now, esoteric knowledge, spiritual wisdom, personal beliefs. I was getting big Sagittarius energy with that 5 of Swords. I got adversity. Some of you guys might feel cast out. Through the struggle, find higher consciousness, or through struggle, higher consciousness is achieved. Don't fear fear. Other than that, there might be some challenges that you guys go through, or like I said, some feelings of just kind of feeling like, dang, I'm a little lost. I'm a little cast out. Some of y'all, I really feel like you're genuinely supposed to be doing something, or you're going to be led to do something where you're advising other people. It might not be for everybody, but understand, especially for some of you guys that are tarot readers, you might be going through some life experiences right now where you're like, why is this happening? But it's going to add that depth to those readings, because you're going to be able to feel the energy. Sometimes, well, for me, I know when I pick up on a certain energy in a reading, it takes me back to like a flashback in life. And it might not be the same situation as far as what you guys are going through, but I'm able to say, okay, this is how this feeling, or this is what this feeling is bringing me back to. It's helping you with whatever it is that you're doing. This could even be helping you shed ego, tapping more into your empathy for others of you with ego death. Anyway, we move on, girl. With this death card, rebirth, embrace endings, okay? Also, when I think of this Fool card, I'm thinking of like the journeyer. Self-love, find peace in your changes. With the Lovers as well, like I said, find peace while you're changing. And don't judge yourself. There could be judgment from other people, but find alchemy in that. Look up what alchemy is. That's what this is all about. Focus on how can you alchemize this energy that seems to be, it's almost like this adversity coming against you, because there's an authenticity that wants to be achieved. It's like, I want you to be you, and I want you to feel good in being you. I don't want you to feel judged. I mean, we're all going to be judged by someone, but if you can validate yourself and find that validation, I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, but if we start working on how can we validate ourselves, sometimes too is understanding what it is. Like, let's say you want to feel more validated in your beliefs. Well, maybe you need to be able to defend yourself. I know sometimes people have a hard time finding balance. Like, I know for me, because there was some stuff that I still didn't just understand and I didn't make peace with, when I was doing my little, I don't even want to say a transition, but when I was just opening up to certain things. Anyway, validate yourself, honey. Look at how to validate yourself. We also have, you don't need someone else to catalyze you. Remove the codependency. Some of you guys are going to be noticing that people are going to be removed from your life. Certain things will be stripped from you. It's because your spiritual team, your soul, God is wanting you to understand how powerful you are. You don't need somebody else to be the catalyst. You're the catalyst. You're the change. Period. Woo, a word. Okay? Take an authentic leap. Detach without guilt. That's what this is all about. I also feel like when we talk about what do we need not to focus on with this 2 of Cups and this 10 of Wands, I feel like this is all about being perfect, pleasing everyone, being a yes man, putting too much on ourselves, putting rush deadlines. Give yourself the space and the time that you need to learn what you need to learn, to incorporate what you need to incorporate without everyone else's opinions and everybody else's say so. It's a lot about focusing on being your own person with this Queen of Swords. Empower yourself. Period. Alright? So let's see. Any other messages for my pile 3? We have shield. Yes. Protection. Find a sacred place for yourself. A sacred space, sacred place. Protect yourself, okay, at this time. And I don't mean that in a scary way, but just protect your boundaries. You have a right to have boundaries. You're worthy of being able to have boundaries. And you're worthy of being able to stand on that. 7-11 on the clock. Another thing is, too, we have these 2 cards. The Temple of Black Obsidian, the Dark Healing Chamber. This is what lets me know that a lot of you guys, someone likes Harry Potter here, You're going through some type of awakening. Could have just left some type of deceitful connection. Could be just in a place where you're really needing guidance, okay? Black obsidian or black crystals could be really good for you at this time if that's something that you're into. But this just lets me know that you're going through a transformational period. So there are going to be people that might challenge you. Learn how to stand up for yourself. Learn how to be you and be comfortable in that. And maybe sometimes you don't even got to explain yourself to people. Just validate yourself and know that that's enough. We also have the proper burial for freedom. Sacrifice to Osiris, Lord of the Dead. I really feel like this is all coming back to your power. Okay, but give me a second. Girl, I ain't used this deck in a minute. Let me pause this really quick. Alright, so starting off with this card right here. I'm just going to read an excerpt because, girl, you know I don't feel like reading all that. A lot of this talks about, too, just empowering yourself to release what isn't serving you. Whether it's a certain step in the ritual, a certain step in a routine, a certain person, a certain belief, whatever that is, and stand on it. In order for life to flow and express itself, which belongs to the world. Wait, hold on. I messed up. Reading is fundamental. Let me put these glasses up. I ain't see. In order for life to flow and express itself, that which belongs to the world of death must be released. There is nothing to be gained and everything to be lost by trying to hold on to that which no longer serves us, which is better left to die. Though it takes great spiritual courage and trust to allow this to happen, Osiris, Lord of the Dead, guides you to now release that which no longer needs to be a part of your life so that you may be free. Like I said, this could be a person, place, thing, an ideology, an insecurity. This could be whatever that is. Because really what we're trying to get to is the empowering ourselves. 111 on the clock. Let me find this temple of this black obsidian. Let me see. Girl, I'm so ready to eat this dang pho. Ooh, that's so new. You just don't know. Okay. Y'all hear me flipping? Oh, here we go. Here we go. The Dark Healing Chamber. Girl, I'm about to watch Harry Potter. Girl, why are they taking Lord of the Rings off of all the streaming platforms? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. Sick of it. Anyway. Beloved Initiate, the most challenging task is not to confront an external enemy, but to take courage in both hands and journey within, to meet our own dark self and begin the healing task of bringing love, acceptance, and light to it, to yourself, accepting yourself through whatever these challenges, transitions are that you're going through. That's not what the book said. I added that. Okay, back to the book. That is the sacred purpose of any enemy, within or without, to bring us more deeply into our own being as we seek to find and heal the darkness within. Some of you guys might be going through challenges. 717 on the clock, mom number, girl. That's giving me healing energy so that you can find your authentic self. Sometimes you ever talk to someone and they just conversation, not that, well, fuck that, I'm judging. But you ever talk to someone and you be like, why do they think like that? Why are they thinking like that? And it just reaffirms your thoughts, your morals, your values, why you're on the trajectory that you're on, why you hang around certain people, why you don't hang around this person. There's a lot about helping you discover who you truly are and what's comfortable for you. And it may happen in uncomfortable ways. So hold space for yourself, honey. So yes, you guys, that was your spread. Please let me know how it resonates, and I'll see you guys down below in the comments.